G'day and welcome to another chapter, but it's only really half a chapter because I wanted to make mention of Graham Newbury's auction coming up and the fact that I think it goes off next Saturday. And is it the Saturday? It's on the 2nd, I think. I've got a link to the auction description and I'll put it in the description. It's early morning and I've only had about 3 hours sleep. I'll put a link to the auction in the description. I haven't registered yet. I intend to. I've got to be careful what I spend though, because as I've said in previous videos, more money's been leaving this place than coming in, so I have to be very careful. That being said, I would have snapped up pretty much half of it had I been able to, particularly that car. So Graham has finished the business. He's wound his business up, which is a great shame. He was a master metal worker and panel beater, and he's gone off to brighter pastures with his tanks. He's very, very keen on his tanks. He loves his tank stuff, his military stuff, and that's fair. So I wanted to, wish him all the best and all this sort of stuff, but also make as many people as I can aware of the fact that there's a lot of very, very good stuff being auctioned off this Saturday that still hasn't got a bid on it. A lot of auctions don't get bid on till later. People are sort of quite reserved. I know eBay auctions, I never bid, I use a sniper. We can't do that in this case, but probably wouldn't be fair to do that either. I just want to see the support go out to him. Anyway, I was very fortunate to get a lovely set of donations from Daniel. He has donated before, and very kind of him. And we'll talk a bit about that, what's here, where I can go from here on the Fairlane. This is all about the Fairlane. And I should have another video up in about a week or so. But for now, I hope you enjoy. A couple of pieces donated by Daniel. This fan switch for the Fairlane. There is a bit of burning on the back of it. It looks like it's had some sort of corrosion in there as well. Not sure. We'll pull it apart and have a look. We still have the old one that was missing the spring and detent mechanism. So if I can salvage parts out of this to use in that one, that's a good thing. This gear / ZJ Fairlane steering wheel, it's dirty, but I don't think it matters too much. I think it's had this funky cover on it, so hopefully when we take this off, if I started cutting, I thought, no, I'll actually film it while I do it. But it might have some nice secrets. And we can just unhook that. Take the stitching out of it. And just see what it's like. And it's obviously been put on a long time ago. But a heat gun on here might, might make it more, you sort of return it to its original shape. It is soft, it's still soft, it's not loose on the inner ring though, which is actually great. Now, I've had a lot of compliments about my little gathering of cars. Daniel's collection puts mine to shame though. He's a ex-Ford engineer, and so his knowledge on the product is, you can take his word as gospel. So, this is looking reasonably exciting. It looks pretty good in there. And it's a good cover because it's got foam on the back of it, so it hasn't done any damage. It's just sunburnt on the outside rim. But I had one of these wheels in an XD gear I had years ago, and it was very comfortable. And if the Fairlane's wheel just proves to be too weird for me, because it's kind of got that funny offset thing, then I'll put this on, although they're different. The column's different on them, sorry. And I think XE steering wheels are further to the dash. I think the column's been altered because the XD one was too close to the driver. I think. I'll tell you what, I've been blessed by people like Daniel, because people say, with channels that they can't do it without their supporters, and it's actually very true, because even that fan switch, the used one is $130, $150, something like that. Anyway, let's have a look and see what this is like. Now, it was in a waterlogged car that was rusted out. So, you're not going to get miracles, but That is really good. That will clean up so well. And, you know, treat this a little bit. A new badge there, sticker there. And those details where the rope's been around the sort of circumference of it, that doesn't worry me at all. I'll give it a clean up and I'll show you when I've cleaned it up what it's like, but I'm actually half tempted to use that because I find these are actually quite nice to use. The XE wheel is a bit fatter. It might even be a tiny bit smaller, but I don't mind these. Of course, the other thing that he did, he offered me a whole bunch of stuff while I was there, is this, the binnacle for the Fairlane, which has the light diffusers on it, which is the other thing I needed. So Daniel, thanks so much. And you know, it's so well appreciated. Let me get into here and see what the story with this is. I've already given myself a wee stabbing with a screwdriver, like an idiot doing it like that, which is dumb, or like that. Best if you're going to do this sort of thing is to do it like that, so if you slip it, just goes straight past your hand, not into it. So that's me being an idiot. I've got this case, and this case is, I'm very careful taking that apart, so I can use that case. I've got the nut and everything with it, the locating pin's in good condition. I just want to see what's in here though. Might have to use a finer screwdriver. Right, let's have a look. There's the ball there. And a spring, which the other one was missing. So it's a bit burnt on that terminal, but that's resurrectable. But this is the bit that I'm interested in because it's got the ball sitting with a spring, which I can't get out. There's some goopy grease. It did have a bit of slack in it though. Had to be. Don't do it like this because see there's heaps of foam. It could blow up and everything goes everywhere. But yeah, there we have it. So we'll give this a clean. That's actually better condition. I might use this one. But it's in very good condition all over. I'm just using a Scotch-Brite pad just to clean those contact areas. I don't want to make them too rough. I just want to make them a little bit smoother to use. And of course, we use our casing. We use this casing and the spring over the shaft and the casing. Actually, I might put a bit of grease around there. Before I do, let's just bend these up a little bit, just so they contact a tiny bit tighter, and put a little bit of grease around the shaft so it doesn't chafe in the casing. That should fit in there. Does that only go one way? No, it sort of just sits like that, doesn't it? Oh yeah, spring loaded. Hopefully that's cool. Is that the way it goes? I think. Right. There's the detent mechanism. Now the detent mechanism works. Where's the plastic bit? Here. Around there. There's also, actually I was premature with that. There's also the ball. And the ball, that sits in like that. And we'll put a dab of grease on the ball just to hold it there. And this is what I'm using. Yeah. Around there like that. I don't want too much. Maybe it's spot more. This is Clean and Lube. It's a XAcoupeguy product. And we can also pop it on that bit there as well. That then goes in this bell, and I just called it a bell because it made that sound. Now these only go one way. Have I remembered everything? Yes, I think I have. Now, there's a square bit that goes down here. So that should fit in like that. My battery in my meter's gone. Okay. It holds the legs of that thing out like that. Should have run down the leads too. I haven't taken those out. She'll be right. That could be the common there. So that shouldn't make any connection except with itself. Number one. Number two. Number three, which should be that one. There we go. Three. Two. Hang on. One. Off. Cool. So that should be it. Pack up. I'll keep these as spares. After all, we can probably resurrect it. Well, we can certainly resurrect the terminals and so forth, but if I can find the right springs now and know what everything looks like, it's just that white spacer. You could make that from Delrin if you were desperate, but at 135 to 150 bucks for one of these, it's certainly worth doing. XAcoupeguy Gold Class Leather Cleaner and Conditioner. You can see it gets a lot of use. I bought it for the Commodore when I bought the Commodore, but it's a cream, and the Commodore's got perforated seats, and so I didn't want to mess it up. It's not the right stuff for this. No harm in trying. Maybe just do away with that idea and open the lid, eh? Still looks like a cream in there. Sounds a bit solid though. That was great. Right, back on the fan, I decided to take this out. This body housing here is from Daniel, and all the screw eyes and everything are really, really good. The deflector's good. I might take that off before I put it in. If it gets in a sort of dangerous area, it looks like you're going to damage it. Where the hell's my ratchet? There it is. So it means we've got to sort of pop out these switches again. I'm doing this all wrong. This part of the dash did not need to come out. It could have all come out as one, and I could have disconnected it down there. So it's been a long time since I've worked on one of these. I don't remember it, and consequently, you know, I've made mistakes. But I need to just use the best of what I've got. I left another thing there. I left the whole top there. That had better eyes above the instrument cluster, but it didn't have the wood grain on it. So, because Daniel's car was a ZJ, not a ZK. So yeah, I've screwed that all up. I've done the wrong thing here. But that is pretty knackered. The eyes at the bottom are good, but that's all broken, that's broken, they're broken, and there was something else I saw too. I can't remember what it was. Well, maybe that's it. This one's far more favourable. So yeah, it's just a matter of feeding all the stuff in. The back lines, it looks busy and horrible, but it's actually not. You can access it from underneath, but it's just a matter of popping all this stuff in. So this was a real rookie mistake, taking all this out, but I've just tied it at the top, and that way I could access the all the vacuum lines and put them in. It was a hell of a lot easier. So I've got them all the way I want them. It's just this wiring here. I think that's all right. I can put that back. I've ended up having to change. Where are they? these little black plastic things. Some of them are pulled out, they've been over tightened and the sort of makeshift self-tapper threads pulled out. Fortunately Daniel gave me a couple of, on this binnacle had a couple of spares, and I could raid, you know, one and the other to make it all work. But the build, yeah, as I said, I mean the build quality is pretty lackluster. It's very molded plastic, not really designed for a huge amount of longevity, but in saying that, it's done quite well, lasting as long as it has. I'm using an exercise mat in here because it's a lot more comfortable. But this is head and shoulders better than the one I had. So I'm putting this back in. And I've just got to do a repair to, where's the hole? There it is. I've just got to do a repair to the eyelets above the instrument cluster, and I think we're sort of good. I don't think I've put that in properly. No, I haven't. That's it. There. You gotta be careful. You tighten them, you can hear a little crack. You know, that means something else has just got damaged. It's so brittle now. I took that off because I was worried about breaking it. That's better. That's working. Might have to adjust it so it goes back further. Cut there. Just got to press that button in. Maybe a bit more, huh? It's over adjusting. There's a little shut off valve there. That should be about right. I found most of these globes, dash globes, were knackered. These are sort of coloured green. They're BA7s. So they've got a long bayonet type fitting in them. And I've just been replacing them. So we've got these three going now for the centre cluster. And I'll pop another one in, obviously, for this one, because that's how I powered it in. It's separate to that, even though the conductor's the same colour. I don't know why they're not lighting up, but I could do it off the back of the switch, which is probably the more reliable way to do it. I only ordered half a dozen of them. How do they go in? Hang on a minute. Oh, they're pains in the arse sometimes. That thing has to go down further. Yeah, here we go. No, not quite. I can't grip onto them. Sometimes I use an old glove to actually grip onto the glass so I can feel it turn. This was another one like that too, this top one. That's in. This one. Yeah, they're in. So we can put these things in now. I think it doesn't seem to fit. I think they go in from the other side. Like that. There we go. Awesome. Right, so it's before work. It looks like it's going to be a very nice day. When I finished working yesterday, I was removing ball joints from those old arms, and I'll show you why. Oh. Hang on, I've only got two hands. Because those arms are terrible. I might use them on the wagon. It was a real rookie mistake getting those, but I'm going original. I've sent a message to the seller of another set of ball joints to make sure they're not these. These are the ones that I would recommend not buying. Now, I've been on the forums, and I've seen them mentioned on American forums, saying they're too stiff and so forth. And the support they got from the manufacturer was actually nice. Was they don't want to make sure they're good and all this, but they're talking about a break-in period of 500 to 1,000 miles to loosen up, and that's not good enough in my book, because I don't want steering that's so stiff and won't self-center for 500 to 1,000 miles. That's a lot of mileage. Among other things, it's not roadworthy. Having a car that whose steering is so stiff it won't self-center. So, stay away from those. They're rubbish. And in my book, I don't think they're safe. This is another donation from Daniel. There was that and a few other bits and pieces, and the driver's seat because the frame is broken in the fairlane. It's got too much rubbish in here. I might use a stripper on that. There's a tiny dent there, right there, and otherwise the door is absolutely perfect. That's off the same car all these other Fairlane parts are from, including this dash frame. And that, I've got to take the dash out of the XT. If it breaks, that's what I'll be using. So thanks again. So I didn't want to get this out just yet. I wasn't ready. So it's only sort of half a chapter. But I did want to get the word out as much as I could in support of Graham in his workshop. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.